welcome to Good Luck High Five, episode 535.
That's right. You're listening to a podcast that's for you if you play Magic the Gathering, whether you want to take a nap or you're okay without taking a nap right now. We are here for you.
I'm one of your hosts, Maria.
I'm another one of your hosts, Meghan.
And both of us are on an extreme amount of allergy medicine.
I need a nap.
This is going to be a real wild ride for you, listeners.
Yes, because we're talking draft.
Draft and sealed,
Yes.
limited for March of the Machine, which is a super awesome limited format.
Yes, it's so cool. I'm so excited to talk about it more.
Everybody's talking about it everywhere, and they're like, Dave Humphreys is the GOAT of making limited formats in Magic. So we've got to give it up for Dave for this format. It's been so much fun.
You know, I've been playing more sealed than I usually do, just because every sealed pool is so fun to build, and I feel like every one has like a build that like you have to find the right thing, right?
Yeah.
Each one has a lot of potential.
Why do
and
you
it's about unlocking it.
Why do you think that is in this format?
8 rares.
Yep, there it is.
I don't know.
8
That's
rares.
just what it feels like. 8 rares.
So we're going to dive into the data with you from 17 lands and let you know if you're having trouble in this format, how you may be able to pivot to get yourself out of your draft hole. Which, if you're in a hole, a draft hole is not a bad one to be in. But nonetheless, we're going to help you climb out of it.
Yeah.
Talk about the best commons to pick, the best color pairs, the speed of the format, that kind of thing. All data driven. So, you know, we're not just making it up.
Yeah. Anyways.
Anyway, we want to tell you about something happening this Friday, everybody. We've got a premiere of our Breaking Oaths series, episode number 2.
Oh, it's so
Yay.
exciting. I'm so excited for people to see it. I feel slightly guilty for some stuff that we did.
Yeah, we did.
Which I think is how you should feel after a game of multiplayer.
That's true.
If you don't feel a little bit guilty about something that you did, you were probably the first person to die. I think that's my perspective on multiplayer.
Well, you can check it out on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/goodluckhighfive. You can tune in at 7 p.m. Central on Friday for the live premiere.
Yeah.
We'll be there live
tweeting.
chatting with you along with the premiere so you can hang out and talk to us as you're watching it. It's a super fun episode, just like episode number 1. Mm-hmm. What a blast it was to play, and all of our decks are themed on tribes. So I picked vampires. Meghan played dragons.
Yeah.
It's very cool. Rob played turtles.
Also, Eric played Eldrazi, colorless Eldrazi's. I did not play dragons the way you think I did. Just gonna put that out there.
Ooh, a teaser.
Yeah.
Yeah, tune in for nothing less than the turtles deck. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's quite good.
It's very cool. It's
really cool.
Join us. We would love to have you come Friday, 7 p.m. Central, live on YouTube for the premiere. And then, of course, for our panel coming up the following Friday after that at MagicCon Minneapolis.
Oh, my goodness. It's going to be so cool.
12:30 p.m. Friday. I'm there.
I'm so excited. I've started putting together a little presentation.
It's going to be so good.
Our little slides.
We've got great special guests. We've got amazing collector boosters we want to give to you in the audience. You get to play along. You get to help out our panelists. It's going to be a super fun, awesome time. So if you're at MagicCon Minneapolis, 12:30 p.m. on Friday, put it in your phones now so you remember to come and visit us. But before we get into the show and do all the data and all the draft breakdown, all that kind of stuff, huge thank you to all of our supporters on patreon.com/GLHF Magic.
Yes, thank you so much to everyone who is a patron. It truly does mean the world to us. It means that we can keep making this podcast. We can keep making the upkeep. Now we can keep making Breaking Oaths. So if you've been enjoying that Oathbreaker content, hey man,
come be our friend.
Come be our friend.
Yeah, we have different tier levels to subscribe at. Any of those levels get you into our Discord, which is just a fabulous spot to hang out and chat Magic with other great people.
Which has a place where you can talk about like different builds of Oathbreaker decks, different builds of Commander decks. You can talk about the draft and sealed format that's happening. So if instead of just us telling, you want to have a little chat with people, hop on in our Discord, become a patron. It's a good time.
You can even suggest show ideas. Right now there's a thread to suggest show ideas for episodes for Good Luck High Five. So come on and check that out. Patreon.com/GLHF Magic. We will dedicate an episode to you. To you. Huge thank you as well to Card Kingdom. You can find them at cardkingdom.com/GLHF. Use our affiliate link to buy whatever you want for your magical life. I love Card Kingdom.
Stuff. And if you are in any of the places that have a Card Kingdom,
oh my God,
by which I mean Seattle or Portland,
Mox Boarding House.
go to their store, and also you can get so many great board games.
They're the best board game stores that I've ever seen.
They have such selection. The selection is
incredible. They have also a million different ways, like dice alone.
I love the way that they're organized too, but they're organized by type of game.
Yeah.
So you can just browse and be like, oh, I really like playing a collaborative game. Like I like playing like whatever you like. I like playing roll and writes, like whatever you want to play. Go to Card Kingdom.
Yeah, check them out. There's Seattle, Bellevue, Chandler, Arizona, and hopefully soon somewhere else. They keep expanding, so it's pretty cool to see. cardkingdom.com/GLHF. It is now time for the randomizer.
All right, Maria, show me that art.
All right, I've gone to scryfall.com, hit the random button. Now Megan's going to try to guess what this card is.
Into this card
Isn't this beautiful?
It is beautiful. It is like a stormy sky. There is some kind of like cliff or something, and there is a gigantic Pegasus. But it's a black Pegasus.
Yes.
And it has kind of like its wings are kind of skeletal-ish.
It's really cool.
And in the back, like columns like rise up into the sky. There's all of these chains. This makes me think that this must be from Theros Beyond Death, is my guess, because this looks
it does look like it.
The built like, even though this art looks maybe from like an older set, but it just has such strong Theros Beyond Death vibes.
It truly does.
Anyway, so I'm gonna call this like this is gonna be Nightwing Steed.
Oh, that's a good name.
Is the name of this card.
Good name.
It is 2 and a black for a 2/2 with flying. And it has 2 and a black, and this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn.
Ooh, all right. Good guess. Good guess.
I really love that art. It's really cool.
It's beautiful. And you may be right, because this card is actually from Modern Horizons 2.
Oh.
So they can just set it wherever, right?
Yes. So that feels like it.
It likely
this
is
looks
Theros.
like it is in the Theros underworld.
The name of this card is Tyzurus Charger.
Oh.
And guess what? It is 2 and a black.
Wow.
You got the mana cost right for a 3/2 Pegasus. It does not have flying, but it does say escape 4 and a black, exile 5 other cards from your graveyard. So it does have a black activated ability.
Yes. And escape is from Theros Beyond Death.
Yes, that's true. It escapes with your choice of a +1/+1 counter or a flying counter on it.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Stinking
That's pretty close
on this.
That is pretty dang close on this card.
Wow.
Wow, great job. You nailed almost every aspect of that.
Oh, man. All right, Maria, are you ready?
I am prepared
Here
as
you
I
go.
can be. What? I give you a beautiful Pegasus.
Yep, and I give you
this derpy guy. Okay, what am I looking at? This is a guy. He's just a dude. He's wearing a tunic with a funny little hat.
Yeah.
It looks like he's been shot in the back with an arrow.
Yeah, I can't tell if he's been shot.
Or the tree behind him has an arrow in it.
Yeah,
it's
one or the other.
impossible to say. And he's running towards you, the viewer, carrying a banner that has 4 various banners on it.
Yeah.
What are those called? Flags? I don't know. Yeah. They all have the same symbol, so they're not like 4 different tribes or whatever.
They just really wanted to get the point across.
Like, this is our sign. I have absolutely no idea what is going on with this card.
It's a weird card.
It's so weird it has to be a white card. There's no doubt in my mind this is a white card. Yeah, this guy is just like a little 1/1, and he's called a herald, or he's called Standard Bearer. Yeah. And it's from an old set. It's got to be from an old set. And for 4 and a white, he gets Planeswalk until end of turn.
Wow, a 1/1 with 4 and a white for Planeswalk.
This card sucks.
Okay, do you know what? You're right. It's a white card.
Okay, well, just big white vibes on that one.
A coalition flag.
Well,
it is an enchantment
I
aura.
say flag in the name. Oh, it's an aura. Okay, yeah. Sure.
Enchant creature you control. Enchanted creature is a flag bearer.
Wow, I called this card Standard Bearer. I just want to point that out.
It is a flag bearer. While an opponent is choosing targets as part of casting a spell they control or activating an ability they control, that player must choose at least 1 flag bearer on the battlefield if able.
Oh, so it just redirects whatever onto itself.
Yes, exactly.
What? Oh, it's so strange.
Isn't that weird?
This is an
aura that makes you target that creature that it is on.
At least it only costs 1 white mana.
Yeah.
From Apocalypse.
It's from Apocalypse. Do you want to hear the original text? Because what I read you was the Oracle text.
That was the Oracle text?
That was the Oracle text.
I thought that was the original text. Yes, hit me.
Coalition Flag can enchant only a creature you control.
Well, good to know.
Enchanted creature's type is Flag Bearer. If an opponent plays a spell or ability that could target a Flag Bearer in play, that player chooses at least one Flag Bearer as a target.
You know, we've come a long way on words in Magic the Gathering, quite honestly.
Do you know what? Now that does kind of make me think that this guy has been shot. Right? Because you must shoot him.
You've got to shoot him. Yeah, that arrow's in his back.
You know what they say when you're fighting an opposing army? If you're shooting anyone first, it's the people with the flags.
The people
that you want to shoot first.
I hear you're supposed to shoot the people with the red cross on them because that is the target for you to hit.
Oh, or if they have a target, like if there's people with a target on them.
Or if they have a little drum, you just aim for the drum because you want to hear the cool sound of when your arrow goes into it.
Hits the drum.
See, we know how to do war here on Good Luck High Five.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
All right, everyone, let's dive deep into March of the Machine draft.
Yeah, first up, we're going to take a look at what are the most successful color pairs so far in March of the Machine draft.
So we're going to give you a caveat before we just say this because we're going to tell you what the best color pairs and cards are, and I'm going to put quotes around that. Because honestly, when you're playing draft, the most important thing is to draft what is open.
Yes, draft your seat.
Draft your seat because even if we're like, hey, blue is the best color, and nobody's passing you blue and you're just picking up a few here and there that are kind of underrated blue cards. That's not a good
time.
It's not going to be a way to success. So just want to put that out there.
That being said, the best color pair, thank you so much, everyone. It is Dimir.
It's finally happened. Blue has been...
It's been a real stinker for a while.
It's been a stinker.
But do you know what? Blue's time is coming.
Yeah, it truly is. Blue is fantastic in this format.
Oh, thank goodness.
Finally.
I love it.
Finally, and Dimir is the best color pair that's blue-black with a win rate of 58.9% as of this recording.
Solid.
That is a solid win rate.
It's followed up in second by Azorius, white-blue, with 58.3.
Yeah, also very good.
Yeah. I'm just so happy. Blue has not been that good. And it's also a pretty significant drop to the next one. Like the next most successful color pair is 56.7.
Yeah, that is
right. That's like 2 full percentage points worse than the best one.
You're right. And that happens to be Golgari coming in at 56.7, like you said, which does have black with shares with Dimir. And I think that black being so high on this list is because of the removal that black offers in this format.
Yeah, it offers a lot of removal.
Unconditional removal. And good removal, which you're going to need because
instant speed removal.
Instant speed.
Ooh, so good.
You talked about how many rares there are in your sealed pools.
You got to kill them.
Which you've got to come ready for those rares.
You got to kill those guys.
And removal in black in this set is excellent.
Yes. Next up at 55.9 is Simic Green Blue. You know what? Also Simic, finally.
Finally seriously.
Do you know, for a while, Simic was like really bad.
No, you don't want to touch Simic with a 10-foot pole.
Exactly.
You
the last couple of
across the room.
It has been a legitimately like one of the worst option color pairs.
Absolutely.
Finally having its moment once again.
Yeah, bolstered of course here by blue, which we've talked about in the first 2 best color pairs, and green, which was in the 3rd in Golgari. You're able to just play some enormous creatures in green in this set.
Very helpful.
And then blue helps you out with its great commons, including cards like Afara's Dispersal, which sends stuff back to your opponent's hand, which if you're spending a lot of mana on like big creatures and whatever and big bombs for 1 mana,
it's real nice
to get rid of it.
1 mana.
Like so seriously. Good. So anyway, I understand why Simic is doing well.
Next up at 55.3, we have both Celestia, green-white, and Izzet, blue-red.
Okay, yeah. We've got green in there and blue for Izzet. Excellent. I'm excited to see those colors doing well because Izzet, it's kind of hit or miss.
Yeah,
when it comes to these formats recently.
It has also, been quite hit or miss. And then we have Rakdos, black-red at 55.
Okay.
Having a slightly tougher time than it has recently.
That's a good point.
It's been a really good color pair in a lot of formats for a while here.
I've only played against it 1 time.
Yeah.
And that's all I can remember.
Yeah. I think I've played against a good Rakdos deck or 2.
Okay, good.
Then next up at the, coming in kind of at the bottom here, we've got Gruul, red-green at 54.7.
Interesting.
Yeah. Boros, red-white at 54.6. And then at the very bottom here is Orzhov, 53.7.
So interesting that Orzhov is the bottom, even though it has access.
Even though it has white and black.
To that great black removal.
Yes.
But the white cards, okay, so this is what's interesting to me about white in this set.
Yeah.
So the commons and stuff don't seem very good in white, but white has an insane number of bombs.
Yes.
So you can get like Kenrith, for example.
Yes.
The Return King.
Boombringer Valkyrie.
Boombringer Valkyrie. I had a sealed pool with 2 of those, by the way. Wink, wink.
OG Elish Norn.
Elish Norn. Seriously, so white is full of huge bombs.
Yeah.
Black has excellent removal, so we're not saying it's not playable.
Exactly. You might get some really good rares.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll talk a little bit later about just like the top 5 cards in the set right now.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of white cards amongst them.
Absolutely. So really, really interesting. And to see Boros there on the bottom. So what's something most of our bottom color pairs share?
Red.
Red. That's right.
Bite me, red.
Red, not good in this format.
No. But do you know what? Okay, one, I am not surprised because there's the 3 mana, 1 in a red instant speed removal spell.
Yep.
That is very good.
Of course.
And then after that, there is the largest gulf of all time between that and the next red card I want to take.
Yes, of course there is.
It's like it's like a cavern. It is the deepest trench between that and then the next red card.
Which is so funny because when you see a set and you're like, oh, Stoke the Flames is in the set, you're like, oh, well, red's going to be good. People want to play that.
Yeah, and that again,
I mean, that's not a bad card.
Yeah.
But
Volcanic Spite is the card that I'm thinking of.
Volcanic Spite
is very good, but it is not good enough to make up for the fact that the next good red card is like, ugh. But you know what? Red's been really good for a while.
That's right. So this is not something we're used to saying in a format.
It can have a moment in the backseat.
And what also is interesting about this is that red is generally an aggressive color and plays in fast decks. Mm-hmm. And this format feels like since there's so many big bombs and so many creatures that cost so much mana, and you're attacking battles instead of attacking face, that faster decks are just going to struggle a little bit more.
Yeah.
So interesting to see that here reiterated in the color pair rankings.
Especially like you were saying, attacking battles is just a big part of it.
Yep.
Games just go longer. There's times when I look at my opponent's board and I'm like, oh, if they attack me, they're going to take a big chunk out of my life total. But they put some of those attackers at a battle, which isn't incorrect.
Yeah.
Like, right, they do want that card. It's usually very good for them and very helpful, but it does make a huge difference in the pace of the game.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, do you just want a 2-for-1 that's on a card?
Yes.
That's a battle.
There are times, right, when I'm like playing a game and I'm like, oh, my opponent and I are like basically at parity right now. Like we both have about the same number of creatures out. We both have about the same number of cards in hand. But I'm like, oh, I have 3 battles that I could attack. Like I actually essentially have 5 cards in hand. I just have to figure out like
how to unlock that card.
Exactly, how to like unlock that card. Rather than worrying about like the mana cost of it, it's more like how am I going to get the other side of that card?
You know what's so funny too is we talked about this on the episode last week. Like it's just correct usually to attack your battle. Mm-hmm. I took that advice so far to heart that I attacked a battle when I had lethal on board.
Well, okay.
But
all right.
I did it and then I was like, wait a second. What have I done? Mistakes have been made.
You just really wanted that.
I really wanted
the other
it.
side of that card, man.
I mean, but here's the thing, like whatever, you're probably going to win that game.
Yes, exactly.
If you're attacking
you have
freely into your
lethal
battle.
and you're about to flip this battle?
Yeah. Okay. It's okay. You're fine.
Wow.
You're fine. Do you know? Okay, I'll talk about when we get to the speed of the format, so I'll hold on to that thought that I was about to say because we're going to talk about the top 10 commons now.
Yeah, let's talk about them. So this is the most surprising to me, actually, when I pulled this up and I was like, say what?
Yeah.
The top common is Preening Champion.
Preening Champion. Do you guys know this bird?
He's a great bird. 2 and a blue for a little 2/2 bird. Comes with a 1/1 friend.
I mean, that being number 1 truly is shocking, except when you think about the fact that I've heard it said this card is just the 2/1 flyer gain a life draw card from.
Oh yeah, that
set. New Capenna.
Yeah. You're right. Except the card that you're drawing is a blue and red elemental.
Yes. Yeah. So like is that better than a random draw?
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Depending on what else you're doing, but like, yes, it just is. It is very good. This is also surprising, though. The second best card in the set is Afara's Dispersal.
Yes.
Which, as we were saying, like, it is just so good that you can cast this spell for a single blue on an attacking
This is a card that's 2 and a blue instant. It costs 2 less to cast if it targets an attacking creature, like Meghan said. Return target creature's owner's hand. And then you also get to Surveil, too.
It is like casting this card.
How do you lose?
Excellent.
That's how I feel when I cast it.
I had an opponent like cast the 5 and a red 5/5 haster that has mountain cycling, and like they attack me, and I'm like, this would be bad
if I didn't.
If I didn't have literally a 1 mana answer that I left up to just be like, I don't know, like it's essentially I just time locked you.
Yes,
you spent your turn casting this.
This
and
card
I was
is
like,
time walk.
Goodbye.
This card is time walk. It's like, been called.
It doesn't even matter what you did with your turn.
And you surveilled.
Oh, and I surveilled. I got to put a land in my graveyard. And felt great.
Stuff being in your graveyard can be important in this set too. Mm-hmm. I don't know. This card is just so strong. I don't know what my upper limit on these would be. I guess I have to have some creatures to win the game, but
I mean,
whatever.
I think I would play as many of these as I received. I would also play as many of our next card. This is the card that's coming in third in this list, Deadly Derision.
This card's excellent.
As many of these as I drafted, I would play.
2 black, instant, destroy target creature, planeswalker, create a treasure token.
I'm sorry.
Why?
It's instant speed, and I make a treasure?
Why does this card make a treasure? It's already good enough.
It's already excellent. Speed. If it didn't make a treasure, I would still.
Of course I would
still play as many of these as I drafted.
If this card didn't make a treasure, I don't even think it would change its position on this list.
No, it would probably be the exact same spot.
Still
but
just be
also,
third.
You make treasure.
I mean, give me a break.
Here you go. Here, treasure.
Which is great in the set like this, which has those companion cards. I don't mean companion cards like it because it has companion cards. You know what I'm saying? It has a team up cards. That's what I mean. It has a team up cards, which are generally 3 colors, and you
It
splash.
also has the cards that you can play their front face, and then they flip for the Phyrexian mana.
That's a good
so you can
point.
play them anyway without the treasure and be able to flip them. But the treasure just means like if you want to, you can flip them without paying a life.
Beautiful.
Even if they're off color for you.
I mean, see, like, just what more do we have to say to convince you? This card is
it's a house. So good. The next card, though, I keep saying this, but also legitimately shocking. Although, okay, I call it legitimately shocking, even though someone cast this against me, and I liked it so much that I play it in my sealed deck every time.
I stole it out of their deck and put it in my deck.
I took it out of their deck. I draft it if I'm in blue.
Yep.
Because it is this good. Eyes of Gitaxias.
So this card, number one, this art has some creepy eye stock going on here.
Really gross.
Disturbing.
It's quite gross.
2 and a blue sorcery, incubate 3, draw a card.
So you just get it's a 3/3 that draws you a card.
It's amazing. So many incubate tokens are running around that are 2/2s. This is like, hold up.
2 thumbs up.
Sit down.
Here's a 3/3.
Sit down. I'm a 3/3.
Yeah.
And you've drawn a card.
Excellent. It's just,
I'm in shock talking about how good that card is. Sorry. It's just incredible. So far on our list, we've had 4 cards revealed. 3 of the 4 have been blue.
Yeah.
And the other one has been black. And now you understand why Dimir is so good in the format.
Especially since the 5th card is also black. This is Final Flourish. It is exactly the kind of card that you expect to be on this list.
Yes, it is.
1 and a black instant. Kicker, sacrifice an artifact or creature. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. If the spell was kicked, that creature gets -6/-6 until end of turn instead.
I love it. It's so flexible.
Great.
If you need to kill something early, no problem. You just pay 1 and a black for it. Later in the game, it's going to take care of almost anything that you are worried about. And all you have to do is sacrifice something like aforementioned, if you have Preening Champion in your deck, you've made a 1/1 elemental that you don't feel bad sacrificing to your Final Flourish to deal with something else from your opponent.
Yep. There's like the little 2/3 where you can pay 1 and sacrifice a creature. Also, I'm just thinking about...
What are you thinking about?
I'm just thinking about Preening Champion again and how good it is. So Sorry, I just like came back around to being like, that card is so good. I'm thinking about other cards now if we're talking about that card. Anyways.
We're on a, you know.
We're
on a journey.
Thinking about that bird again. Thinking about that bird.
Thinking about that bird.
Just thinking about that bird.
We're on an antihistamine journey here today on this episode.
Just thinking about that bird.
Coming in at number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Saiba, Cryptomancer, once again, a blue card.
Exactly. And this card is just nice, you know?
So, this is a weird one, though, honestly.
I thought it was dumb, and then I was wrong. That's my take on Saiba Cryptomancer.
This is the 01 Flash Backup 1 Hexproof card, okay?
Yes.
So, why do you like this?
Because it give hexproof.
Hexproof.
That's it. It give hexproof. You almost always play this creature as a combat trick.
Yeah, for sure.
Basically 100% of the time. And then you have that little 01 to just throw around and do whatever you want with. Like, it did its job of protecting whatever it needed to protect.
Yep.
And now also it's like a chump blocker.
Yeah.
It's there to sacrifice to Final Flourish.
Yep.
It's just nice.
It's really good. And Hexproof, giving the gift of Hexproof in this format, first of all, for any holiday, Hexproof, consider it.
Yes.
This
Do you not know what to get your partner for their birthday? Consider Hexproof.
Hexproof. I would take it, of course. I found the combat tricks in this set that grant Hexproof or indestructible to end of turn, whatever, are really, really, really strong because we've talked about how important removal is in this set for bombs. Well, equally as important is if your opponent is packing that removal is a way to protect your creature from it.
The other card that comes to mind, it's not on this list because it is a
white card.
No, it's not on this list, but Bladed Battle Fan falls in the Saiba Cryptomancer list of the first time someone played it, I'm like, this is stupid and I hate it, but now I play this card.
Yeah.
Because it's 1 in a black and give indestructible. You play it as a combat trick.
There you go.
Anyways, moving on, number 7 on the list.
Volcanic Sprite. So that's a card we were talking about before.
Yeah. 1 in a red instant. It deals 3 damage to target creature, planeswalker, or battle.
Love that flexibility.
You may put a card from your hand on the bottom of your library if you do draw a card.
Get out of here.
That's just really nice.
The thing is that red is nowhere else on this list.
Yeah. The problem
isn't.
The problem is it's bad otherwise.
But this card is so good that it's happened to put itself into this position, number 7 on our list. So
it's a good card.
That's just
real good.
I mean, when have you paid so little mana for so much?
I know, not often. Not often.
3 damage to whatever you want, basically.
Instant speed,
and then you get to
and you can put a card away.
All right. Up next after that, once again, we're back to blue. You thought we were done with blue. We're not. Temporal Cleansing.
This is 3 in a blue for a sorcery, Convoke. The owner of target non-land permanent puts it into their library, second from the top or on the bottom.
This is the second bounce card on this list.
Yeah.
So
a little tempo-y over here.
That just goes to show the amount of mana people are investing in their creatures and in their battles and whatnot is so important. And being able to disrupt that, high value.
Very high value. This is just nice. It also means you can take your turn casting a creature and then also cast this because you can convoke it.
Yeah, that's a great point.
It's great.
And the flavor text, now's not a good time. I love it. Very simple, very straightforward.
Yes.
So take the bounce, everybody. Temporal Cleansing coming in.
Take the bounce.
At number 8. Coming in at number 9, Nezumi Informant.
1 in a black, 1/1. When it ETBs, each opponent discards a card.
Can you believe that?
Discard Rat.
Discard Rat is back.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Remind you of anybody?
Yes.
Virus Beetle.
Virus Beetle.
Is what
and
comes
also,
to mind.
yes, because it's from Kamigawa too, by the looks of the art.
Yes, it is.
So,
and it's a Nezumi.
Right. So
Rat Rogue.
This is like it sounded like you just
Scooby-Doo saying Rat Rogue.
I was like, was that Scooby-Doo in here for just a second?
Oh my gosh. Rat Rogue. Anyways,
why is this good? It's a discard 1/1.
Exactly. But do you know what? Like I said, like there's so many things to sacrifice this to then, right? Like you can sacrifice it to Final Flourish. It trades with like some X1s, which is nice.
That dumb 3/1 in white.
Yes, exactly. It trades with like the 3/1 in white, which is quite high on the list of like best white cards. It just do job.
And if you're being greedy with your hand and you have a lot of bombs in it, I guess maybe you have to discard one. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh man, I will say, so there was a time when I had Ayara.
Yes.
Who brings back a creature from the graveyard. Like I turned her over. And so I like played a Nezumi Informant from my hand.
Yeah.
And they like used some ability that they had to draw a card, and I was like, it means that the other card left in their hand is really good, right? It must be.
Yes, it must be.
And so I was like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and like I had a Nezumi Informant in my graveyard, and I got that back. And sure enough, I made them discard, and it was like an Atali or something like that was the other card in their hand, and I was like, thank you,
Rogue Rat.
Thank you.
Finally, coming in at number 10, yet another blue card in Assimilate Essence.
Wow, this one really also surprised. This was just a list of surprises.
Yeah.
But Assimilate Essence, especially number 10, 1 in a blue, instant, counter target creature or battle spell unless its controller pays 4. If they do, you incubate 2.
I love this because there's no downside.
Exactly. They can pay 4. Well, you get a 2/2, and you made them use 4 more mana.
Let me tell you, getting rid of feel bads in Magic.
Yeah.
I gotta say, like, this seems kind of inconsequential, but I think this is a huge thing to do on a card like this. Because, all right, we've talked about how in limited sets, Wizards is actively thinking about, we know this, about ways to help out with mana.
Yeah.
And making sure that if you have too much of it, if you don't have enough of it, you have ways to kind of access that throughout the game so that you don't feel like you're playing non-games. Fewer non-games in Magic is what their aim was. And I think that this is another interesting way to look at that from a different perspective, and not just like, are you mana screwed or flooded, but is your counterspell sitting dead in your hand and can't do anything and you feel bad about it?
Yeah, like your opponent just has so much mana, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think, like you've been saying, also there's a lot of like really powerful but high costed spells.
Yes.
And this is an efficient 2 mana answer to a lot of that stuff.
Absolutely.
So.
Assimilate Essence. So let's take a look at just like thinking about our list here of the top 10. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the top 10 cards are blue.
Blue, I'm so happy for you.
The other 3 are black.
Yeah.
And 1 is red.
Wow, no white cards.
0 white cards.
No green cards.
0 green cards.
Wow.
And that tells you that Golgari, which was number 3 on our color pair list.
Really leaning hard on black.
Really leaning on black for some of its good cards.
Wow.
Interesting.
Also, white was the second one. Really leaning on blue.
Yeah, that's a good point.
My goodness.
That's a good point.
I mean, I think white-blue is in part the power of, if you can draft a Knights deck.
Knights is really fun.
It's real, and it's quite good.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you also just want flyers, which Preening Champion is one of. So let's look at the top 10 best commons, everybody. Commons are the most important thing to keep your eye on during your draft, right? Though they're going to be what you see the most often. You can't always just build around your bomb like I want to every single draft. You got to be disciplined. Got to be disciplined. All right, so now we're going to talk about the top 5 commons by color. So those are overall, now these are by color, and these are based on game in hand win rate, meaning if you have these in your hand, you are more likely to win the game.
Yeah.
So, kicking it off.
With white. First up is Aerial Boost. Yeah.
Combat trick.
Gotten roasted by this card. Because it has Convoke.
Roasted.
It doesn't matter if they have no mana open. They can cast +2/+2 in flying.
Yeah, that is true. Something to be aware of.
Sometimes it just get you.
Number 2, Angelic Intervention. We mentioned Combat Tricks. This is the 1 in a white instant. Gains protection from colorless or the color of your choice until end of turn. If it's a creature, you also get a +1/+1 counter.
Nice.
It's really good.
Real good.
Been blown up by a number of times.
Yep. Next is a card I've really come to love, which is Bolas Slinger.
I like this card a lot too.
This is the little 3 in a white for a 2/2 with backup 1. And when it attacks, you tap something down.
I really love the backup ability on this too.
I have yet to ever put the counter on Bolas Slinger.
Yeah, no.
It always just goes on something else and you get in.
Just put on something else. You attack, you surprise them out of nowhere. They can't block. They thought they could.
You attack your battle when they thought that you weren't going to flip your battle.
Exactly.
It's just good.
I love that card.
Yep.
Knight of the New Coalition is the next one on this list. This is a 2/2 for 3 in a white Vigilance. When Knight of the New Coalition enters the battlefield, you make a 2/2 Knight with token with Vigilance. So just make it
nice. It double triggers some of your Knight stuff.
Yep.
Which is nice. And then the last one is Swordsworn Cavalier. This is the dumb 3/1 we were talking about.
This is the dumb 3/1 gets first strike when you play a Knight.
1 in a white for a 3/1 that, like, if you're in white, you probably want, and you're playing this card, you probably want to be in Knights.
And you probably want as many of these as you can pick up.
And this essentially just always attacks as a 3/1 first strike.
Yep.
Pretty good.
I've played plenty of games against people who just were dumping these out of their hand, and I'm like, well, I guess I lose.
You can exactly like, oh, I can never block that.
No, you're just never blocking it.
Fun for me.
Let's talk about blue, shall we?
I mean, we already talked about every single one of these cards.
Interesting.
Every single one. Of course, you've got Preening Champion, Afara's Dispersal, Eyes of Gitaxias, Saiba Cryptomancer, and Temporal Cleansing.
There you go.
All 5 of them in the top 10 best.
Black here is going to be a similar story.
Yep, we know the first three. Deadly Derision, Final Flourish, Nezumi Informant. Then we've got Unseal the Necropolis, which was a little surprising to me at first, but this is a nice value card. You get 2 creatures back.
Yeah, this is 2 and a black for an instant. Each player mills 3 cards, then you return up to 2 creature cards from your graveyard to your hand.
It's just a good card.
I think that's good value.
Yes. There have been times when these games can get a little grindy. Like you've ground through, you're like, okay, finally, maybe I've clawed my way into an advantage. And then they cast this and they get back their 2 best creatures that you had to deal with already. And you're like, never mind.
Yeah, I think if I'm playing black and my deck is even remotely slow, Unseal the Necropolis is going to be great.
It's so good.
In it.
Yeah.
And finally, Ichor Drinker.
Yeah, this is a little 1/1 life linker for 1. But you can exile it from your graveyard to incubate 2.
I really like this card. Yeah. It's better than I thought it would be.
Exactly.
I had somebody played against me at the pre-release and I was like, what? And then they exiled it from their graveyard and then they made a 2/2 incubate token. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine. I mean, that's good value for 1 single black mana. And
it's just a good value card.
And another single black later on that you can put on layaway, essentially. Yeah, I like it.
That's all right.
Let's talk about red. Shall we?
Volcanic Spite, which we talked about already. And then Ral's Reinforcement is the next card on this list.
What is that card?
Which it makes some little 1/1s.
That's what I was going to guess.
1 and a red.
2, oh, yeah. 2 blue and red elemental creature tokens for 2, a sorcery.
Okay.
Why is that a sorcery?
I don't know.
Have we not had this card in instant speed at white, everybody?
Yeah, we have.
Did we not do that in red in the color pie?
Like, this is how, look, red is just...
Poor red.
The third card is Marauding Dreadship.
That's that 4/1?
It's just so weird to me. It's 4/1 haste when it ETBs incubate 2.
Okay.
And it has crew 2. I guess.
I don't know why I'm playing that when I have a 3/1 first striker for 2 mana.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, Beamtown Beatstick is up next, which is a fabulous name for a card.
Yes.
For a single red equipment, equipped creature gets +1/+1, has menace. Whenever it deals combat damage, you make a treasure. To a player or a battle, by the way, equip 2.
I guess having menace is nice.
I like the menace on this for sure. I think menace is good in this format because we're playing big beefs. And even if you have a big beef and it's alone, it can't block a menace creature. But I don't know.
But still, I mean, this is like the weirdest... This is like if I went to the recycling bin and looked inside and these are the 5 things I found in my recycling bin.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Hanger Scrounger is the last one. 2 and a red for a 2/1, backup 1. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card.
Like, that seems like a good card.
Great. The rummage is nice.
The rummage is nice. I wish it would cost 2.5 mana.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That would be, I think, a lot better.
But you know what? It doesn't. This is my recycling bin. It's red.
Yeah, I think it is. It's just the bin. Sorry, red. You're just the bin. Now let's move on to green. Arachnoid Adaptation.
I mean, this is also a very weird. This is the best green card in the set. Single green instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains reach until end of turn. Untap it. That is a very good combat trick.
Yeah.
I mean, a single
untap.
Green. Yeah. The untap.
You spook them.
Yeah. Spook them.
Spook them. They don't know what to do. They're scared of this card.
Yeah.
Overgrown Pest. I really like this card. Is up next.
This is 2 and a green for a 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You can reveal a land or double-faced card and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order.
Yeah.
Do you know what? That's a nice ability.
That's a good card.
It draws you a land or a battle or other double-faced card. Is pretty good.
After that, we have Converter Beast. Do you know this one? 3 and a green. When it enters the battlefield, incubate 5.
Let me tell you,
it's an 0/1.
I've been playing a lot of Converter Beasts.
I like this card a lot.
Like this card a lot.
Isn't it so weird? Like, why wouldn't we rather just have I guess we're not going to get a 5/5 for 4 mana ever.
Yeah. But also because then you have the the O1 body. Like there's so much, there's so much like reanimate stuff. There's so much sacrifice.
Yeah.
There's a lot that this little O1 beastie can do.
What's interesting to me is the next card on the list is Cosmic Hunger.
Excuse me.
Bless. Which is 1 and a green for an instant. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to another target creature, planeswalker, or battle.
Yeah.
I would have guessed that this would have been higher than Arachnoid.
Yeah.
Whatever. Arachnoid adaptation. But it's not.
Yeah. This card is quite good. I like it a lot.
I love that it can do it to a battle.
Yeah.
But why is it not better than a single green combat trick?
Because that combat trick untap.
Yeah.
Get spooked.
Really interesting. And finally in green, Seed of Hope.
This floored me.
Featuring Teferi.
Yeah. 1 green, instant, mill 2 cards. You may put a permanent card from among the milled cards into your hand. You gain 2 life. That's
bizarre.
Yeah. This is where Ren is grooting.
I can't explain this.
I can't explain this either.
Maybe you what do you get back?
You may put a permanent card from among the milled cards into your hand. So not even any card from, not a card from your graveyard. Just only the 2 cards that you just milled.
Cards.
I guess you gain 2 life. I guess it's instant speed. I don't know.
Okay.
I feel weird.
I don't understand. I feel weird about that card. Let's move on. Let's move on and just talk about the top cards overall, the top 5 top cards.
I mean, so this is I just wanted to look at these because it's kind of fun to be like, okay, we all know rares are good, but which rares are the best?
The most good.
I was telling Maria, it comes just a little, we don't talk about it because it comes in, I think, 6th or 7th on this list.
Yeah.
But I swear every opponent I have played has had a Hidetsugu and Carry.
It's very funny.
Every single opponent I've played against that card so many times.
And I always play against Shieldred. That's what I am always up against.
That's pretty rough also.
I'm like, God, does everybody have Shieldred?
That's how I feel about Hidetsugu and Kairi, where I'm just like, where are you getting these?
Well, I can't be too mad because I always have Boonbringer Valkyrie.
Oh, well, that's disgusting.
Wink.
That's
feeling
okay.
Feeling okay.
Disgusting.
I told you about my sealed pool where I had 2.
Yes.
That was the same sealed pool where I had how much does a card cost? I've got to find it. Okay, tell me about number 1 on the list while I go find the card I need to tell you a story about. Oh, you have another story?
No, I was going to tell you my card.
Oh, sure.
That I always have is Tribute to the World Tree. Which is a very random card to be the one that
that
has decided it's my thing, but it's the one.
Look, if it's decided,
it picked me.
It picked you. Okay, in my double Boonbringer Valkyrie deck, I had Breach the Multiverse. Do you know this card? 5 black, cost 7 mana. It's a rare. Sorcery. Each player mills 10 cards. For each player, choose a creature or planeswalker card in that player's graveyard. Put those cards onto the battlefield under your control. Then they become Phyrexians. You wouldn't think I would be able to cast this card in a lot of games. I think in my sealed run that I played, I almost said league that I played with this deck, I cast this like 4 times.
Gross.
And sometimes I was gonna kill myself by milling just by casting this because you have to mill 10.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And I still wanted to. I didn't, but I wanted to.
Yeah.
And sometimes
you want it.
I just got great, amazing bombs, and then I won the game. Number 1, best card in this set.
Sunfall. This is a nice card. I have cast this. This is 3 white. It's a rare. A sorcery. You exile all creatures, and then you incubate X, where X is the number of creatures exiled this way.
What a lot of people don't know is that this card is a sequel to the movie Moonfall. But this is good. Moonfall, one of the most terrible movies that I've seen recently, but terrible in a delightful way. This is incredible. Are you kidding me?
It's just so good.
The problem with board wipes is that you wipe the board and then your opponent goes and gets to cast their creature first. Well, not in this case.
Nope. Guess what? You have a big old incubator token. It's real nice. Next up, surprising no one, is Elish Norngran's Cenobite.
I bet Elish is mad that they're not number 1 on this list.
Yes, exactly.
Elish is set.
Peeved.
But Sunfall is winning.
Yeah. 5 white for a 4/7 vigilance. Other creatures you control get +2/+2. Creatures your opponents control get -2/-2. This card is so busted.
Love it.
It's always been busted. It always will be busted. It's Elish Norn, everybody.
And coming in at number 3, the card that keeps coming to me. Please keep coming to me, my darling Boonbringer Valkyrie.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this card is Better Bane Slayer.
Better Bane Slayer. That's when Bane Slayer does the splits.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this card's incredible. 4/4 flying, lifelink.
Vigilance.
First strike. Not vigilance.
Oh, not vigilance?
It's first strike, yeah.
Oh, fine, not vigilance. It only has lifelink.
The pre-release, but it's first strike. And then it has, you can give its counter to somebody else, give somebody else flying, first strike, lifelink. I mean, it's...
it's gross.
You're dead.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
Next is, this card has also been played against me a ton.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Which is Chrome Host Seed Shark. And yes, when someone plays it and you cannot immediately remove it, the question becomes, how can I ever win this game? And the answer is you can't.
Shark Typhoon.
Yes. It's 2 and a blue. It's only 3 mana for a 2/4 flyer, first of all. So they cast this on 3. My opponents freaking cast this on 3 all the time. Do. And then they're like, okay, untap, here I go incubating as I cast my sorceries and instants.
Yeah, this is whenever you cast a non-creature spell, incubate X, where X is that spell's mana value, which is a little Shark Typhoon on a stick here.
It is.
That's dumb.
I can't even... once again, I can't even explain how many times I've lost to this card. It's kind of like, it's an uncountable number.
That is bad Shark Daddy. Bad Shark Dad.
Bad Shark Dad.
And coming in at number 5, none other than Vorinclex.
Oh, yeah.
Coming on back to make our top 5 list here in best cards overall in March of the Machine. Congratulations, Vorinclex. You're good.
5 mana for a 6/6 trample reach ain't bad, baby.
Nope, not at all.
So, and then it also, because it goes and gets those 2 forests for you, makes it easier to also flip it, which I think is a big part of how high it is on this list.
Yeah. So let's look at the best cards in the format. I mentioned being able to play Breach the Multiverse multiple games with no problem, which is a testament to the speed of the format. What do we know about the speed, Megan?
So the speed is, to be fair, still a little bit faster than the average speed. Of a format.
Where these swords.
We're right in here. Where these swords. So it's coming in like kind of around like 8.8 to 9 turns is the average number. But I think it is a little bit faster than the normal if you're like looking at this chart. It is a little bit more advantageous than usual to be on the play, which is a big thing. And I have felt that.
Yeah, for sure. You get to play your battle first.
Exactly. Like, I didn't notice it until I was feeling it, and then I looked at this chart, and I was like, oh, that feeling was valid. It wasn't just me being like, I feel weird about being on the draw in this format. Nope. Data says it is quite good to be on the play. But it is just so much, even though it is faster than average, it is so much slower than Phyrexia All Will Be One.
Yeah.
And I think that is the difference that we're feeling.
That
feels
must be it.
slow right now because it is slower than what we were just playing.
Yeah, which was an incredibly fast format.
Yeah.
Yeah, really interesting how advantageous it is to be on the play in this set more than most recent sets of Memory.
Yeah, right? And especially most of the sets where it is as good or better to be on the play are significantly faster.
Yeah.
Right? This is one of the sets where the slowest sets where it is also very advantageous to be on the play, which I think is really fascinating.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
Well, interesting, everybody. If you want to dive into more of that data, you can check it out on 17lands.com. Thank you to them for helping everybody get better at draft collectively, including you and I and all of us listening. Well, I love this format.
Yeah. I'm so excited. So I was telling you earlier, I've been playing a lot of Sealed just because I am excited for the Arena Open.
Yes, everybody. The Arena Open this weekend.
And I don't remember a Sealed format that I've been enjoying so much because I wouldn't spend this much time playing it, even if I was planning on doing that Arena Open, if I wasn't having a good time.
Totally.
But every single one that I open, it's just like, oh, there's a solution in here somewhere. There's a good deck in here, and I just need to find it.
I think the addition, like you said, of those extra rares is really doing it.
Because it means that you don't have to choose what are the best colors in my pool or what are the rares in my pool. There's going to be, I think, just more overlap in those things, right?
That's a great point.
You can usually have a rare or two in your best colors, whereas sometimes when you only have the 6 rares, it's like, oh, maybe my best color actually has no rares in it, though.
Yeah, and I have to make some tough compromises.
Exactly.
Okay, everyone. I think if you haven't been playing with this format, you've got to get out there and jam.
You need to get out there, get out to your LGS, see if they're doing some sealed events. Like sealed is always an option for regional championship qualifiers. So maybe if you've wanted to try to head out to one of those,
that'd be
give
super
this
fun.
Sealed format a shot. I'm probably going to look for some because this has been so much fun.
On our last episode, when I said I hadn't had the thought of like, oh, I want to go to another pre-release after I just had a pre-release in a long time, but I had it after this one, multiple people replied to me and said that they also had that same thing happen. So like...
It's great.
We're so excited about this format. Really happy to see it. And of course, draft is going to be one of the formats that's coming up at the Pro Tour here, which is not this weekend, but next weekend.
We'll bring you, all the news you need to know about it next week.
That's right. We'll get you ready for the PT, which is going to be standard and draft. Mm-hmm. Super excited for it and to see what the pros do with this format.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. That's this episode of Good Luck High Five. Thank you so much for hanging out.
Yeah. Wow. I only sneezed once. Thank you, allergy medication. And I have not fallen asleep. No, thank you, allergy medication. I
have seen the Hat Man 3 times during this episode.
No!
When do you think it was?
I don't like the description, the Hat Man.
Write it in the comments.
It really makes me think of the Babadook, I think. Like the Babadook is a Hat Man.
The Babadook is a Hat Man.
Yeah.
Is the Babadook
your Hat Man isn't, like... All Babadooks are Hat Men, but not all Hat Men are Babadooks, right?
That's a great way to put it. That's exactly the way to put it. Oh my God. Everybody, thank you for hanging out. Come see us next week to get you ready for the Pro Tour. If you're coming to MagicCon Minneapolis, come to our panel, 12:30 on Friday. Check out our new Oathbreaker video, Breaking Oaths, episode number 2, this Friday at 7 p.m. Central.
Yes, it's premiering. We'll be there chatting with everyone. It'll be such a fun time.
Tribes, turtles, vamps, dragons, Eugenes. That's what I call Eldrazi's. They're just little
They're
Eugenes.
All Eugenes.
So I'm super excited. Lots of fun stuff coming up here in the GLHF verse.
Yeah.
It's like the MCU, except better.
Better, yeah. A lower production budget, but...
Head to patreon.com/GLHF Magic. Become our friend before the next show. Get an episode dedicated just for you.
Just for you. Or for someone else.
Yeah.
You can ask us to dedicate it to someone else.
Somebody else.
Thank you, as always, to our sponsor, Card Kingdom. cardkingdom.com/GLHF. Go get all of your sweet Phyrexia and March of the Machine singles for the standard season.
Yes.
Head on out there.
Yes. Get yourself some Halo foils.
Yes.
Have you seen the Halo foil IRL?
No.
Oh, it's really good. It's covered in milk, which is a kind of an issue, but
gross.
Gross.
Excuse me, Judge.